Hi, Jean.
Okay, so I am here today with our Traveler's Choice Award winner. The film was called Love Letters to Summer. This is Miranda. So Miranda, tell me a little bit about the concept of your film.
I decided, because I originally had a different concept, but then like everyone who was going to be in my film was at like different places at different times. And so I decided to go like a documentary style and just have like different scenes with different people and just, and then I originally wrote a script too, but then I wanted it to be more personal. And so I said like, you know, like what's your favorite thing about summer? Like what do you like love doing, I guess? And so it was kind of like love letters, but not in a typical way where you might think a person necessarily. So I liked the idea of like loving, I guess, other things about summer.
Now, we chose yours in particular because it does showcase different aspects of this area, different people's representation of that. And what is that? What's the connection for you to Frankfort or Northern Michigan? What is that personal connection?
I've been coming up here ever since I was younger in the summers to be near my grandparents. So I've always loved this area. And then 3 years ago we moved up here. And I really loved living here just because I've never felt a community like this, and even like the workplaces I've worked, it feels different than like anywhere I've ever been. I'm used to like bigger cities, so yeah, it just feels like a great opportunity.
So, how many people were on your team?
I think around 10, and then I had filmed my grandparents, but I didn't get a chance to get them in there, so they have helped a bit too.
So this, the concept of this is a 48-hour film festival, and you only have 48 hours to write, shoot, edit, and submit your piece. So tell us a little bit about your scheduling and how you were able to accomplish that.
So I actually was kind of nervous because Thursday I ended up having to work. So I actually couldn't do any of my filming until Friday. So I did all my filming Friday, and then I stayed up the whole night and edited. And it took longer than I thought because I had some audio issues. But yeah, and it ended up working out like in one day. Okay, an extra day would have been nice, but yeah. So that's what I ended up doing.
And then, so equipment. It's always interesting to me to find out what are people using to film, what types of equipment did you have, and or what kinds of equipment did you wish you had when you were out there trying to film, because it's usually one of the challenges.
Yes, I wish I had like a really nice film camera or a camcorder, but I just use my photography camera I've had for a couple years, so it's a Nikon D3300, so it's just like a standard DSLR, and then I hooked a Rode mic on top of that, so not a super good mic either, but good for I guess close-up sounds.
How about lighting or any additional sound or music?
I just used natural lighting, and then I went on to just a website where there was royalty-free music, and so I chose a song that I thought would fit really well.
Awesome. It is always part of that challenge to figure out what can you get done in 48 hours. What roles did you play versus what roles some of the other people on your team played?
So it was kind of nice because everyone was really cooperative, but I also wanted them to have like their own creative freedom to just say what they wanted to say about what they love. So I kind of wrote a loose outline of like, hey, if you could touch on these topics, or if they don't speak to you, just say whatever you want to say. So I directed and edited, and beforehand I made like a shot list of things I wanted to get. So I guess I was kind of behind the scenes most of the part, yeah.
Now, I always love hearing some of the funny scenes. So were there any behind-the-scenes stories or things that ended up on the editing floor, as we say, that you really wished had ended up in the film, but, time elapsed?
Right. I do wish my grandparents had ended up on there because I really like their perspective when they talked about spending time together. But I guess what I loved is like my brother, I wanted him to talk about fishing, and I thought he was going to be serious about it, which he was, but like he just had like a natural kind of comedic tone. And so it just made my whole family laugh, and like I had to cut a lot of stuff out just because we were like joking around. So it ended up being like really fun and like a chance to like actually hang out with my family in a way I haven't really gotten the chance to just because everybody's busy. So that's what I've learned.
And do you plan to go on and do something in the film industry?
Yes, I hope so. I'm studying psychology and film, so I'm double majoring. But film I think will